Hello guys, welcome to my YouTube channel. So we'll be starting a question solving series mainly of interview ask question. These are the questions which have been repeatedly asked in many big tech companies. So our first problem is two sum problem. So we'll go through first go through it and then we'll proceed to the solution. So we given an array of integer nums and integer target, return indices of the two numbers such that they add up to target. Okay, so the question is saying that we'll be given an array of integers naming nums, and we'll have to make a target, and that target should be the sum of two numbers, and we have to return the indices of those two numbers. Moving forward, it's written you may assume that each input would have exactly one solution and you may not use same element twice. Okay, so it's saying that we can't use the same element twice and there will be exactly one solution. Okay guys, so to solve this problem, the very first approach you can tell to your interviewer is brute force approach. In that approach, what we will do, we will run two loops. So let's say we are given this array 2, 7, 11, 15. So now, if someone asks, tell me whether there are two numbers whose sum can be equal to the target, and in this case, let's say target is our 9. So what we can do is we can run a loop in such a way that first we will take this 2. Okay, and after taking this 2 we will see in the remaining numbers whether there is a value equal to target minus this current value, that is 2. So if there is any such value, then that means we have got our answer, that is the index of 2 and whatever the next element we just found out, the index of that element. So both these indices will be our answer. Okay, so similarly, let's say if our target was 17, so what will happen? First of all, we'll run a loop, we'll choose 2, and now this 2 will check whether we can make 17 by using this 7. Answer will be no. If we'll use this 11, will our answer be 17? Answer will again be no. So we can see that our target is not being achieved till here, but if we'll move to here, so we can see that the sum of these two numbers will be equal to 17. So what we can return the indices of 2 and 15, that is will be equal to 0 comma 3. 0 1 2 3, yeah. Okay, so what we saw here is, first of all, I'll just write on code and you can easily understand it. So what I will do, I'll let a loop running starting from the 0th index till the size of nums. So let's say int n is equal to nums dot size. Okay, so I'll be less than n and I plus plus. Now just understand one thing. So if for like for 2, if we have checked 7, 11 and 15, so do we and then when we will start from 7, do you think we need to check 2 again? Obviously not, because it doesn't depend on the order, like whether we choose 2 first and 7 later, or if we choose 7 first and 2 later. So the second loop we can obviously run from I plus 1th position. You are getting it? Like if I am selecting this 2, so then I need to check only 2 like 7, 11 and 15. And if I'll be selecting the 7, I need to check 11 and 15, because I have already checked 2 and 7 while I was considering this 2. Okay, you getting my point? Cool. So now I'll run a loop from I is equal to j equal to I plus 1 to j less than n j plus plus. Okay, now simply, if let's say if nums of I plus nums of j equals to target, that means we got our answer. The I and j will be our answer, and we can simply return I and j. So we need to return a vector, so we can return like this way. This will return a vector ij. Okay, cool. And if we can also check if there is any case where we can't have the answer. So we see that here it's clearly mentioned that it would have exactly one solution. So in each case there will be one solution possible. So it was quite easy problem. Let's just check it whether it's giving a right answer or not. Okay, so there is some problem with error non for what's this error? Non-void function doesn't return a value in all control paths. Okay, let's just check. Okay guys, so it's kind of saying that we may not be returning value in each case, which we know is not true. So like we'll just to be bypass this compiler error, we can simply return any vector. This vector is not gonna used anytime, but we'll just return it. So you can see that now our test case has been passed. We'll use some more test case. Okay, you have to wait guys. Obviously I haven't taken the premium, and I'll tell you why and also how you can use all the premium features without taking Leetcode premium. So let's see. Yeah, it's passing all the test cases. Now let's just submit it and we'll check it. Yeah, clearly guys, our solution got accepted, but this is not the most optimal approach. We have another method. Like let's say if interviewer asks you to optimize it, and also you can see one more thing, that's here it's a follow-up, that can you come up with an algorithm that that is less than O(n) square time. First of all, let's discuss how this time complexity is O(n) square over here. So you can clearly see that this loop will run n times. Okay, and for again this loop, if you will see, like for the first element it will run n minus 1 time, for second element it will run n minus 2 time. So if we'll just reverse this series, you can see that it will be like 1 plus 2 plus 3 plus dot 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 plus n minus 1. So we know from mathematics that sum of n natural numbers is n into n plus 1 by 2. So if we put that like n as n minus 1 over here, we will see that it's roughly of the order of n square. So for this solution, our time complexity is n square. Okay, got it? Let's now move to the second solution. Now, if you carefully observe, what we need is if we are checking any particular value, let's say 2. So what we actually need, we need to see if there any value, if there is any element whose value is target minus 2. if if any that kind of element exists, then we can have our answer, like the current index, whatever we have up to, and whatever the element target minus 2 have the index, we can return those two indexes. Now the question is how we can store index for our elements. So as we all know, we have a map from our STL which we can use over here. Now here's a catch. First of all, I'll just make a map over here, or you want, I'll just reset it. Now it's better. So first of all, I'll have one n variable just to size of the nums. Now I'll have map, and also you can notice one thing, we don't need to sort our map values according to their keys, so we can use unordered map as well. Now let's say its name is MP. Now guys, here's the catch. Suppose I am at the first element right now, so I have to check in all the elements that I have traversed. Okay, so like in case if I'll be at element 11, I'll just check if there is any element till now by taking which I can have sum equals to target. Okay, and if there is a such case, then we can simply return our both the indices. Okay, so I'll just run a loop for int I equals to 0, I less than n, I plus plus. Okay, now just for this current element, we will check like if current element is num psi, what difference is remaining. So that difference we can write as int diff will be equal to target minus nums of I. Now we will have to check if this diff exists in the map or not. Okay, let's say if diff, sorry, okay, so map dot find we can use over here. So basically find is a function which returns the iterator of a of the value if that value is present in the map. Okay, and if that value is not present, then it will return the end of that particular container. Here that container is map. I'll explain in detail about these iterators and the containers in some another video. Okay, so here we can write our value is like diff. Okay, sorry, not fit. That's diff. Okay, and if diff is not equal to mp.end, that means there exists some value, there exists a pair whose value is equal to diff and it will have some value associated with it. Now one more thing, let's assume that for timing if it's equal to end, so what we'll have to do now, we'll have to store the current element. So we can simply write over here that nums of mp of nums of I equals to I. What will this represent? This will represent that whenever we are storing a particular element, let's say 2. Okay, so for this 2 we will store its index as well. Why? Because we need this index in the case like we need to return this index. So like whenever we'll have our whenever we'll find the target, like whenever we'll have this condition true, we'll need to return the current index because that will be the one element we can see over here, and the another index, this diff, we should somehow get the index of this diff. So the index of that diff we can get from this map. Cool guys. So if if there is some value like this exists in the map, then in this case we can simply return whatever the index of that diff is. So we can get that index by map of diff and the current index. So because like you can see that if we'll add current index plus diff, we can have target. Cool guys. So okay, now I think you would have probably understand this question. Let's just go and check, and probably it will give the same error because here also, yeah. So you guys you get it, like it's saying that there can be a case where our controller does not return any value. We know that's not gonna happen, but it's just a compiler who just give us advice. So anyways, we are going to return any value, let's say like 3 4 or 0 0, anything you want, as long as it's a vector of size 2 or any vector, it's not gonna throw any error. Like if you want, we can also return an empty element if you want. It's just we have to satisfy this type. Okay, so cool. You see our test cases got passed. I'll just submit it. Okay, so now you can see that it's if we see the comparison over here, it's taking way less time than what it took in our previous solution. So if you will see carefully, we are just running a loop once. So in total it will take O(n) time, and we are also storing all the values, and like in worst case we'll end up storing all the elements, then the number of total elements will be at max n. So here time complexity will be big O of n and space complexity will also be big O of n. Okay, so guys, this was the solution of this problem. See you in the next video. Please like, subscribe and share. Thank you.